My name is Sharaku Japan. It means the one who nurtures and cultivates his life force for righteousness. And I am Sean Bell.
Tonight there is anger here in New York City over 5 police officers firing 50 rounds into a car last weekend, killing 1 man, wounding 2 others. The victims were black and unarmed.
I'm already scared in New York because of all this crime on the streets, but now there's cops killing us. That means our heroes are the murderers. They're like the bad guys now. I fight for my people. I fight for my people. I fight for all my people. I fight for all my people. From the children to the elders. From the children to the elders. I show respect to my queen. I show respect to my queens. I honor God and continue. I honor God and continue. Work of our ancestors. Work of our ancestors. I have pride. I demand justice. I demand justice.
Seems like our city's not gonna get their fair shot on street blocks where blue cops stand. Can this black kid become a man?
I'm here in America based on think about it. The eugenics movement was a conspiracy to sterilize and exterminate black people. That was a real movement. The Tuskegee experiment was a conspiracy against you. These are all conspiracies. Regional contribution agreements that concentrate poverty and hyper-segregate inner cities is a conspiracy that's taking place right now. I mean, so, my conversation, I'm not even on that vibration of, this is a conspiracy theory. We're living in a world of conspiracies. That's where we're at. So you say what you want to say about a conspiracy, but the bottom line is that's where we are. And we being blacks in America should understand this clearly. Do you think that making you sit at the back of the bus, not allowing you to vote, do you think that all those things were not a conspiracy to disenfranchise you? Do you think Jim Crow was not a conspiracy to disenfranchise you? Do you think the prison industrial complex is not a conspiracy to disenfranchise you? But that's where we are, and that's what, that's basically Jesus Jones Project. That's what it encompasses. It deals with a lot of these issues, and how we're being targeted and how we have to move the same way that those brothers moved in that climate.
Indeed. So to this day and time right now, and pretty much all time, it should be always our focus and our reality. Lord, what's the importance of ethnic solidarity? Why should we, definitely support each other and come together on that level, Lord?
Say keep it real, because hip-hop is the daughter of the blues. Alright? So we're keeping this shit really real right now. We're keeping it really fucking real. Here we are, 1965, the riots, the counter-fucking revolution, the exploitation movies. Fast forward, 1992, Rodney King get beat the fuck up in front of everybody. The whole world saw Rodney King get beat the fuck up. Why did the people rebel when the cops got off? Because they were oriented politically by the music. The most ubiquitous record in the black community was Fight the Power. It was Fight the Power. It was X-Clan. It was Poor Righteous Teachers. It was Brand Nubian. So they knew to the people, the youth had already been oriented that we not gonna take this shit. We're gonna shut it down because we can't trust it, so we fighting the power. That's just what it was, right? So we rioted in 1992, and what did they do? They said, yo, hold up. We gotta change the fucking playlist. Just like when Nat Turner in 1832, just like the long hot summer 65, 67, they shift the paradigm. And the next thing you know is I'm the dope man, yeah boy, wear corduroy, pockets out the here and I'm unemployed. I keep slinging these rocks and my pocket get bigger, yo catch that 5-0, double up niggas. That's where we went, because that's when mainstream started pushing. Now the labels started signing all of these motherfuckers with this content. And they started just promoting a particular brand of hip-hop content. Hip-hop did not die. They shifted the playlist. And it didn't just happen here. My brother Davey D from out Oakland, California showed and proved how it happened in Africa at the same time. You understand? They shift the playlist, man. Pay attention. So what happened was, 2005, Sean Bell get killed. He gets shot 50 fucking times. The police all get off, just like with Rodney King. But there was no riot. Why was there no riot? The #1 fucking song in the black community was Like a Lollipop.
Definitely support each other and come together on that level, Lord.
I mean, ethnic solidarity, or race awareness, even, if you will determine not only the success of groups and people on this planet as this world evolves, but it will also determine your survival potential. I mean, ethnic solidarity is the only way to defend yourself against this oppression. It's the only way. Ethnic solidarity is the only way to contribute to the world group. It's the only way. You can't expect to contribute to the world and be respected and grow and sustained as a people when you're dismantling your culture and ethnicity to merge into someone else's culture and ethnicity. You can't do that, and that's what we're suffering from right now. We think about it. Black people in America, the so-called African American, is almost a hybrid human being, and what I mean by that is the only thing African about this particular being is his skin, whereas all his mannerisms are European. It's like his consciousness is European. You got 85% of the black people here with a European consciousness. We're suffering from a pathological flight from reality when we believe that we can assimilate and integrate ourselves into invisibility. We're the most transient, invisible population in America. It's like the leopard changing his spots. It's an impossibility, and we can say, okay, well, we got successful black people here, but there was always successful black people in America, even during slavery. In 1832, there were successful black people. There were free, liberated, wealthy black people at every time in America. There, oppression. This oppression has never been able to regulate all black people. But they were the few. They were the few, so where it wouldn't make any effect on the group, unless we were all pooling our resources and moving in one direction, like the movement with Octavius Cato and Richard Allen and those brothers over in Philadelphia, who pretty much, sparked the abolition movement. So it's like we have to understand that, we have to be one people, one mind. We don't even have to. We don't have to all eat at the same table, but we do have to believe that when I eat, this brother over here belly will be filled from my eating. We have to hope that. That's the mind state that we have to be in. That when I'm eating, my hope is that this brother over here, his belly is being filled from what I'm eating, and vice versa. We need some kind of we need a serious unity right now. We need a unity. Think about it. Think about this. The nations that keep their ethnicity intact, they're the ones that are ruling the world. The world is being ruled by the groups with the strongest sense of ethnic solidarity. Period. When just look at it. You got the so-called Jew. We don't even need to talk about what they're running. We already know. And this is because of their ethnic solidarity. The Asian groups, You know, you have Asian groups who come here, and they don't shed their ethnicity. They go to Disney World. They go to sports events. You know, they go to movies. They play Wii. You know, they go out, they party. But at the end of the day, Chinatown exists. At the end of the day, they're still shipping in products from China for their restaurants. You go to Chinatown, Philadelphia, all of the products are coming from Asia. The rice, everything is coming from Asia. You know, it's like Dr. Layla Africa said, when the Chinese people come here, they say, yo, look, if I can't eat unless China is on the plate. You know what I mean? And that's ethnic solidarity. That's the ethnic solidarity that we once had. But integration broke that solidarity down to nothing. You know, because when you go back, you study people like Maggie Lena Walker, you know, who was the first woman bank owner in America, the first woman, black or white. It was a sister. 1903, started a bank with all black people. It was building in Richmond, Virginia. I mean, just building all types of economic fortifications. I mean, all types of economic institutions and educational institutions as well, you know, to sustain black people. And she said, let's use our money to build us. That was her whole thing. Her thing was, yo, I'm not selling out the people to merge with white America. I mean, we can do this on our own. And she was proving it. There were like 4 or 5 black banks in her area alone. You know, and we hear a lot of talk about Black Wall Street, but that was going on around the country. There were more than just one location that was that prosperous on an economic level because the ethnic solidarity was intact. So the importance of ethnic solidarity goes without saying. You look at the East Indian community. They come over here and they set up little Punjabs everywhere. I mean, they got everywhere they go, they set up their little Punjab. You got the East Indian restaurants. You got, you know, the whole neighborhood. You know, you see them. They're wearing their attire. They're dressed the way they dress. Their women are dressed the way they dress. You know, and you know who they are. And nobody's saying that's racist. Nobody's saying it's racist for them to have their group and develop their ethnicity. You know, nobody's saying that it's a problem for them to sow to their ethnicity. They understand that that's their superpower. That's their strength. When they give that up, they have nothing. You know, and that's what has happened to us. When we gave that up, we lost everything. We lost everything. You know, you go down to places like Myrtle Beach. There's a spot called Atlantic Beach that was all black and prosperous at one time. Now it's all run down. You know, you can go around the country. There's places like that all over this country. All over this country. You know, think about it. In Philly, Lombard, South Street, those areas, that was black community around there. Today it's all white and high-priced. Black people are priced out of the market over there. You know, you can't even live there unless you paying crazy bread. But that was the black community there. Octavius Cato lived over there. You know, Stephen Smith lived over there. You know, Richard Allen's AME Church was right over there on 7th Avenue, I believe, 6th or 7th Street. Then you had the riot that took place in 1842 on Lombard in Philadelphia, right parallel to South Street is Lombard. It was a riot because the black community was celebrating Jamaican independence. Jamaica had gained its independence, so the black community was celebrating. And the white community attacked them for celebrating the Jamaican independence. So the solidarity wasn't just from my block and your block. The solidarity was international. The ethnic solidarity was, you know, we were feeling, hey, Jamaica is independent. That's a black country now. Let's celebrate. Let's throw a parade. And a parade was thrown off the strength of solidarity, being in solidarity with the black people in Jamaica. White people got offended by the celebration, attacked it, and burned down every house, looted and burned all the houses. They looted the homes. That means that the homes had things in there that were of value. You know, they burned down the abolitionist centers that were set up in that area, you know. But, you know, we don't get that history. We don't get that history because we integrated into Eurocentric schools, you know, so we don't get that history. You're only going to get that history if you're in an African-centered school or a school that's dealing with the development of black ethnicity, you know, and that's where, you know, we have this issue at. I think that we need serious ethnic solidarity, regardless to what you believe as far as your religious view, you know what I mean, or whatever you want to call it, you know, regardless to what that is. You know, the common denominator is we're here in this place.